from the local station. This is Weather Authority Weekday.
Good morning. I am your Weather Authority meteorologist, Michelle McCormick, and welcome to the Weather Authority Weekday Show on News4JAX Plus. Thanks for joining us today. All right, let's get into it because we got some change in weather on the way. Now, this is a look at Jacksonville Beach right now, and it's pretty nice. Not a lot of people out on the beach. We have a ton to talk about with just this picture right here. All right, so coming in is going to be coming in hot, a nor'easter over the next several days, and it's really going to affect our beach weather. Even yesterday, I drove over the Beach Boulevard Bridge yesterday and was socked in. So we have more of that weather on the way, plenty of wind and rain. So there is a gale warning out in the water. There is a coastal flood advisory. There's a high surf advisory right here. These waves will increase maybe 7 feet and above. Small craft advisory, as well as a wind advisory, which we're looking at because gusts could be over 40 miles per hour, and that's the wind advisory. We also have a rip current statement. High rip current risk, extremely dangerous conditions. What I'm seeing, I'm liking what I'm seeing here in this picture because honestly, people are just walking on the beach. High tide is coming up in about 15 minutes-ish. And that high tide is bringing in some of that seaweed along the beaches as well. But high tide also could be 7 feet above where it should be for this time of year, or this day actually. So keeping a really close eye on our beaches and the weather that is coming our way. So let's talk about here some of the areas that are impacted. So the coastal flood watch will likely become a coastal flood warning yet again. This is through the 12th. Help me out, Francine. The 12th is Sunday. Yep, at 6 a.m. Thank you. And we are seeing all the areas here in green under this coastal flood watch, meaning flooding will occur during high tide in those areas that are normally dry. Could see 2 to 3 feet above the tidal water. So just keep in mind, if you live in these areas, you might want to move your boats that are on a deck or at a pier stop or in water. If they're going to rise, you don't want any damage coming to your boats. This also means intracoastal waterway homes could see flooding in the backyard. Beaches, we're not looking for flooding along the beach because our dunes are there to protect us for a reason. However, we could see street flooding due to high tide in those low drainage areas. And we're already seeing some light rain across the area as well. So the coastal flood watch, the high rip current risk, there's a lot of layers here as far as our warnings are concerned. And this is the Doctors Lake Marina. They'll see high tide in about an hour or so, and that's what we like to watch this camera because the water comes into the parking lot. These folks will likely be moving their cars. Tune in at noon. Katie will likely show this camera in the noon news for her weather forecast to show just how high the tide is. So expect high tide at least for the next 2 to 3 days to be impacted by the onshore winds coming in out of the north and out of the east. All right. Look at the winds already whipping out here at the Morningstar Marina. Not a lot of boats out on the water today. Look at that current. Woo, it's blowing along with the winds. Yeah. So the winds right now at Mayport are 21 miles per hour. These winds will likely increase to 25, 30 with those gusts reaching 35, maybe even topping out at 40 at some point over the next several days. So gusts 22 right now at Mayport, 19 at the airport. You'll feel that when you land the plane. 14 in Callahan, 28 is the reading up there in Brunswick for the gusty conditions in southeast Georgia. So yeah, we're definitely feeling it up and down the eastern coast. All right, here's a look at the airport right now under mostly cloudy skies. And these gray, gloomy skies are going to be sticking around with us all day. We're not going to have much opportunity to warm up today as far as our temperatures are concerned because of these cloudy conditions. So if you say nap weather, she's so right. Or you know what else? Ice cream weather. So the Bluebell people are here, and we're going to show you some of that in just a little while. All right, breezy conditions on Futurecast. Now, this is today by 7 p.m. with these training bands of rain coming on shore all day long, along with that nor'easter. Look at that. That's tomorrow morning at 6:45. More rainy weather reaching the I-95 corridor. And then it might just stop there and some will trickle across into the west side of town, but we're really seeing the majority, the bulk of this rainy weather will be centralized at I-95 and to the east of there. But Saturday morning looks pretty decent for your Saturday morning plans. Maybe you have a 5K that you're going to. It should be pretty okay under cloudy skies. Won't be as warm. Our morning temperatures are going to be nice and chilly, fall-like feels. All right, let's talk tropics real quick. This tropical storm Jerry still meandering out here near the Leeward Islands, expected to become a Category 1 storm by Saturday morning from Friday into Saturday, and then making this lovely turn that we like to see out to sea into the eastern part of the central part of the Atlantic. So moving west-northwest at 20, it's cruising along with the winds at 65 miles per hour, very close to being a Cat 1 at 73. So here's the tropical storm outlook. You can see Tropical Storm Jerry down there near the Leeward Islands. Now yesterday when I was here talking with you folks, we were talking about this spot right here. It had a yellow blob with an indication of perhaps a 10% chance of tropical development. Yellow blob gone, tropical development non-existent. Rainy weather moved into Mexico. You can see it right there. It's just dumping there. There's another area that the National Hurricane Center did highlight in yellow way out in the very northern part of the Atlantic. Not even worth it. It's fish food. It's not even gonna like bring us any showers at all. Jerry will bring us some rip currents, additional rip currents, once it passes our latitude.
My favorite kind of tropical.
The fish food tropical storms, we love them. All right, here we have the current temperatures, and we're hovering in that upper 70s. You'll feel it. It's a bit humid out there today, but look, these high temperatures aren't budging much. So if we're at 78 now, we're only looking for a high of 80, 81, 82 today. Yeah, we're definitely going to be turning the dial down. You're not going to need AC today. And you're going to want to pull out those nice warm fall jackets because our low temperatures will be in the 60s. We got some low 60s up in southeast Georgia overnight and into tomorrow, 70s closer to the coast. So here's the next 7 days. I think Friday's low on here, or Friday's high on here is a little on the low end. I think we're going to be closer to the upper 70s. Saturday, we're looking at mid 70s as your high. And then we do bounce back. The beginning of next week is going to be gorgeous. Plenty of sunshine, maybe a 10% chance of rain because it is still Florida yet. And the winds really do die down. So we think you're going to have a much better day on Sunday. Saturday, it's not going to be a complete washout. But Thursday and Friday, pretty ugly days, plenty of wind, mostly staying east of I-95. Sunday, much improvement. Very fall-like feels for the rest of the week. It's going to be gorgeous. We do have an opportunity coming up next week that temperatures might rebound back into the upper 80s as well. But I do want to give a shout out to our friends from Bluebell. They're giving out some ice cream today, and I picked this delicious flavor called, appropriately enough, Homemade in the Shade. Because I like shade, I like weather, so Homemade in the Shade. So thank you to the kind folks at Bluebell for helping to give us some breakfast here in the newsroom. All right, folks, that's the very latest update from your Weather Authority weekday show. I'm meteorologist Michelle McCormick. Coming up at noon, meteorologist Katie Gardner will keep you updated on all the very latest. Tune in again at 4 for Mr. Richard Nunn. Have a great day.
See why every day more people are choosing News4JAX, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1